We're deep into the Scarlet and Violet era and we're coming to the end of 2023. So today we're going to do one final look back on the Sword and Shield era booster boxes and see where they've ended up this year. See how well they've done over the past 12 months to get to now. Have they gone up? Have they gone down? Have you guys made much gains on your collection? Well, today we'll be answering those questions, so let's jump into it. Alright guys, so today we'll take a look at TCG Player at a bunch of Sword and Shield era booster boxes to see whether or not your investments or even mine have actually done really well this year. Now we're going all the way back to January and maybe a little bit before, towards the end of last year till now. Can't believe this year is gone already, but Sword and Shield is long gone and we're deep into Scarlet and Violet era territory. So have they appreciated in value or have they dropped in value? We're going to be answering those questions in today's video. All right, let's get into the first one. All right, first one we have is Brilliant Stars. Now, I actually highly rate Brilliant Stars. I do feel like it is a very strong set, has fantastic cards in it. I think it's a super stacked set. From the Alt Art Charizard to the Alt Art Arceus, you've got an amazing trainer gallery with the Umbreon, the Sylveon, you've got the legendary birds in there as well. There's just so many great cards in this set. And the pull rates are actually pretty good. This was the first trainer gallery set. They got introduced in the Sword and Shield era. And it is strong. I think it's potentially top 3, top 4 set in the Sword and Shield era. But right now the booster box price for this set is $156. That's actually pretty decent, in all honesty. That is actually pretty good. You know, looking at this booster box over the past 3 months, it's kind of been quite stable, but it did drop to about 133 and then bounce back up. But we want to know over the past year. So let's take a look over the past year. Overall, Brilliant Stars has dropped in value, and that was due to restocks. There was actually quite a lot of stock available on the Pokemon Center website, and then some stores got some restocks coming in, not necessarily reprints, but restocks, which dropped the price of the booster box because it was sitting at around $185 about 12 months ago, and the lowest it was 735. So this booster box has gone up over time, but not as much as it was a year ago. In fact, it has actually dropped since last year. So, you know, will it bounce back? Absolutely. I kind of feel like Brilliant Stars. Now we're not going to be seeing any more restock / reprints of Sword and Shield era booster boxes. We're going to start seeing them steadily climb into 2024 and most certainly into 2025. Chillin' Rain now this was a booster box I kept talking about for ages, when you could have picked them up for around $90 to $100 a booster box. I would say this is still a great set. It's got a ton of alt arts in it, beautiful artwork as well, tough set to, you know, get the pulls on, but still very, very good. $151. Now, you know, it hasn't really moved much in the past 3 months, but let's take a look at the past year. So this has actually gone up over time, over the past year, or about $40 by the looks of it. So a year ago it was $110. So yeah, about $40 increase over the year. That's not too bad actually. You know, if we have that same again next year, we could be looking at $200 a box and so on and so forth, which is a nice steady climb for a set that's no longer in print, which is actually quite nice. Then we have Lost Origin. Now Lost Origin is a great set. I think top 3, to be honest, for myself. I think Lost Origin for me is top 3 in the Sword and Shield era. It's kind of, I do rate it over Brilliant Stars, even though I think Brilliant Stars is super stacked. It is still good, right? It did recently have a reprint as well. $131 for this booster box. Over the past 3 months, it's kind of been going up and down. Of course, you've got the big Giratina, you've got the big Aerodactyl. Very good, strong, you know, good, solid trainer gallery as well. Over the past year, this set has actually gone up since it was at the beginning of last year. This was at the end of last year, the beginning of this year. You're looking around 110 again, and you're looking at 130. So it's only gone up by $10, $20 in the past 12 months, but it did reach a high of around 170. So it did gain good value, but then it did get reprinted. So I don't expect any more reprints going into 2024 and beyond, to be fair, of Lost Origin. So I do feel like now's a really good time to pick them up. Great set, you know, top 3 set. I think it will be a very strong performer in the long run. Very, very good set. But yeah, not too bad. I mean, you wouldn't have gained that much money over time. But you never know, next year could be $200 a box, could bounce back quite easily. We'll have to wait and see. Now on to the greatest set ever created, Fusion Strike. This one, however, has been doing pretty decent. I mean, it's $150. So it has actually gone up over the past 3 months. Let's go back over the past year. This set has been doing very well. You know, again, we're looking at a set that was around $110 and it's gained about $40. So very, very similar to Chill and Rain. They're both pretty much identical in forms of the market. And like both this and Chill and Rain, you could have got cheap. And I was talking about them for a long time. This is a set where people kind of ignored it, to be honest, when it first came out, and now it's really appreciating in value. This is going to be an interesting one moving forward, along with Chilling Reign. This and Chilling Reign, in my opinion, they're going head to head of how close they are and how similar they are. You know, big case cards in this set as well, with the Gengar, OR, VMAX, and of course with the Espeon. So it will be interesting to see how well Fusion Strike does. I expect it to be 200, that's my guess, towards the end of next year, but we'll have to wait and see. Silver Tempest now. Silver Tempest is 112 a box. It's actually been going down. It did have a reprint similar to Lost Origin. The Silver Tempest isn't as strong, in my opinion, as Lost Origin to hold its value. And this is actually one of the most cheapest boxes in the Sword and Shield era. I think it's between this and Battle Styles. And even then, I actually think this is less than Battle Styles. So that's actually quite interesting that Silver Tempest is at the same value as Battle Styles, whereas other sets like Dance Blaze and Vivid Voyage, they haven't really gone up much, but they are more than this set, to be fair. So let's go back over the past year. You can see what happens when a set gets reprinted, right? We're looking around 110, 115, which is what it was a year ago. And then we go up to 145 and then had that reprint alongside Lost Origin, and now it's back down to around about where it was a year ago. So this is still a great set to pick up. I do believe this is a good one to pick up going into 2024. However, it's not really looking very good for this set, but I do feel like it is a good set because it has got a good trainer gallery and it has the Lugia. Astaro Radiance. So Astaro Radiance is an interesting one because it didn't really get as much as a reprint as Silver Tempest Lost Origin did. It was $133. It was reasonable there, and it did dip, and now it's gone back up. A year ago, this set is actually more expensive than it was a year ago by about $20 to $30. So it's been doing pretty good over the past year. And like I said, I think the lack of reprints really made a massive impact on the value of Astaro Radiance. And it's an okay set. It's got a pretty decent trainer gallery. You've got the Machamp as well. You've got the Palkia, the Dialga, beautiful arts. Quite a few nice arts in this set. It'll be interesting to see how well this fares. I mean, it's kind of middle of the road value booster box in the Sword and Shield era, but it's doing okay. Okay, on to Vivid Voyage. I like Vivid Voyage. It's got, I think it's a great set. You've got the Amazing Reds. You've got a subset in there. You've got the big Chonkachu, big chase card. The value of this booster box hasn't really moved much, right? It's dipped a little bit over the past 3 months. We go back over the past year, but guys, it's basically the same, right? It's sitting around that 130 mark for the longest time. I mean, it did go up a little bit to 140, but realistically between 130 and 140 is where Vivid Voyage has been for the past year. I don't know if that's really good or bad. It's just kind of like a bit meh. I mean, the set is quite old, and the pull rate's tough, to be honest. Early Sword and Shield, and there was a lot of this, and it did get a lot of reprints as well. So there's a lot of product around of Vivid Voltage, and that's probably one of the reasons why it's just pretty stale. And then we have Dancer Blaze. Dancer Blaze, arguably probably one of the worst sets in the Sword and Shield era. Just no value, really is no value. I mean, the chase cards were like $25, and then the next one after that's less than 10. It's just not really worth opening this set, guys. You could probably get a master set for a few hundred, maybe 200-300, and you're sorted, right? So yeah, you're looking at this, and I mean, 155. It has dropped to now 132 in the past 3 months. Go back over the past year, and it's actually the lowest it's been since a year ago. A year ago it was 145, and now it's 132. So if you bought Dancer Blaze this year, it'll hurt a little bit. I mean, it isn't that great. I wouldn't suggest buying this moving forward. I just think there's much other better sets to buy, to be honest, in the Sword and Shield era. All right, now we're on to Rebel Clash, Rebel Trash. This is actually a really interesting one. This is arguably one of the worst sets alongside Dancer Blaze. Not many people like this set that much. And we're looking at $224 a booster box. That's actually pretty decent. We go back over the past year, and this has climbed. It's climbed by about $25, which isn't too bad, especially for a set that's apparently not very good. It'll be interesting to see how things go with Rebel Clash down the line. It is an old set. It's like the second set released in the Sword and Shield era. That's got that going for it, and it did go up quite a bit during the pandemic. But I do feel like moving forward, it might just have a very slow, steady growth. I kind of feel like this is along the lines of like a Crimson Invasion, or a Guardians Rising, or even a Steam Siege, where it climbed up a little bit, but it's probably not going to go up by much year by year, but we'll have to wait and see. Then we have Sword and Shield base set, and this is actually quite a pricey booster box at $283. This is actually the second most expensive set in the Sword and Shield era. I know, and it's just a base set. We go back over the past year, and this has actually climbed. It's climbed by about $50, guys. So this is actually quite an interesting one. We'll have to wait and see moving forward how things go with Sword and Shield base, because it is a base set and it's actually a really strong performing base set as well. Not many great cards in it either, or even valuable cards. Quite interesting, but I think it's because of how little amount it was printed. Again, during the pandemic, it was difficult to get hold of, and I do feel like because it is a little bit older, it is holding that additional value, which is doing very well between this and Rebel Clash. They're both doing pretty good. Then we have Battle Styles. Now Battle Styles is a 104, so okay, it has dropped recently because it was basically around Silver Tempest level of pricing, but now we're looking around still $100. We go back over the past year, this has gone up. I mean, a year ago it was about 85, 87, so it has gone up by about $20, which actually isn't that bad, especially for a set which is not highly rated, right? Let's be honest, it's one of these weaker sets alongside Dancer Blaze and some others. Battle Styles was like, it's one of the weaker ones of the alt art era, and I kind of get that, right? Even though I do like this set, it is tough pull rates. Apart from the Trinitar, there isn't really a huge amount of great cards in the set. Some nice Urshifus, but that's about it. Overall, I do like Battle Styles, but it's not the best set, and I still don't think it's the best set to pick up, but it is pretty good and cheap at 104, which you can't really go wrong. But I just don't know how much this will climb going into 2024 and beyond. And then finally, how can we miss Evolving Skies? Now, Evolving Skies is kind of the team up of the Sword and Shield era, or the XY evolutions, as it were. This is the big top dog of Sword and Shield. It is a fantastic set. It's got a ton of amazing alt arts. Pull rates are absolutely trash, right? Okay, just like the early Sword and Shield sets. But we can't deny the powerhouse there's Evolving Skies, sitting at $423. Has gone down over the past 3 months. Let's see where it was a year ago. So a year ago, you know, when we were looking at these sets, and it was around $280 a box. Myself, and a few other people did not expect it to reach over $400, not this soon. Now, I still don't think Evolving Skies is a great set to buy to open. Okay. However, I do expect this to eventually become a $1,000 booster box. I do. It's only going to be a matter of time. You know, the fact is that it's already got over $100 in value already this year alone, makes me believe that the further and further we move away from the Sword and Shield era, the more valuable this booster box will become. Now, I have some already in my collection. I have sold some recently to make a profit for, you know, expenditures, for expenses, you know what I mean? So, but I do feel like Evolving Skies is very good. Would I suggest picking one up? Look, if you've got the funds, I kind of feel like you would get a really good return on some of the other sets for the same price. You know, if you're going to spend, let's say, $450 or, you know, the 423, maybe you could pick up a Fusion Strike, a Chin and Rain, and maybe another booster box, and they will probably do collectively better over the next year. We'll have to wait and see, right? Let's say Evolving Skies goes up to 500 by the end of next year. Okay, you probably gain around $70, $80 profit on that, and that's still pretty good going. But if you, let's say, you picked up a Chin and Rain, Fusion Strike, and let's say a Silver Tempest, you're probably going to make more than 50 to 60. You probably will make over $100 just from those three sets combined. So there's a few things, you know, you got to think about. But again, this could go up by another $100 next year and be kept pushing towards 600. Who knows? You know, this set still amazes me to this day. So there you have it, guys. That is what's been going on in the Sword and Shield era regarding booster boxes in 2023. I want to know your thoughts down in the comments. Let me know what are your thoughts on the Sword and Shield era. Do you think that these booster boxes will start reaching the Sun and Moon era prices? Because some of the Sun and Moon era booster boxes are ridiculously expensive. Like, I take a look at them a couple of weeks ago, and they're all like pushing like 400, 500, 600 plus booster box, but they have been out a while, and the big boom and the hype behind the tag team alt arts and also the waifu cards has a big impact on them. But the alt arts across the board, all of the alt arts in the Sword and Shield era have been falling. Pretty much all the cards have been falling. So it's interesting to see how well the booster boxes do. Pretty much all of them have gone up. Some have stayed the same, like Vivid Voyage and Dancer Blaze, although Dancer Blaze dropped a little bit. But then some have just stayed pretty much level. Others have gone up, right? Chin and Rain has gone up. Fusion Strike has gone up, Brilliant Stars has gone up, so a few of these have gone up, but some of them have been going down in value as well. Let me know your thoughts, guys. But if you made this far into the video and you've enjoyed it, make sure to smash the like button, and make sure you subscribe for more Pokemon content. That is what's been going on in the sealed market. If you want to know what's been going on in the singles market, guys, make sure to click the video on the screen right now. And if you want to watch more Pokemon content, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers, guys. Let's see if we can get there by the end of the year. If we can, that'd be absolutely amazing. Right, guys, that's it from me in this video. As always, you guys are legends. I'll see you in the next one.